Aslı Seven. I'm 38. I am from Istanbul, Turkey. I'm a curator and researcher. Proto Cinema is a non-profit organization. It was founded in 2011 by Mary Spirito, who is still the director of Proto Cinema. The aim of Proto Cinema is to commission artworks that are site-aware, context-specific and context-sensitive across the globe, so it's an international operation. It does privilege two locations, Istanbul and New York, which are the places where Mary lives, but also it's been commissioning more and more around the region of Turkey, including Georgia, places like Lebanon, Greece, and also extending towards Latin America and Central America, with projects in places like Peru, Lima, Colombia, Mexico, and so on. The screening tour is a new format that we're trying out. It's been 2 years. It started out last summer. It started out as a way to present the artist's work in a touring way, itinerant way, in a private viewing at MoMA, and then it grew into public screenings. So we toured different countries for each screening tour. The idea is to show the works of artists who are closely tied to collaborators of Proto Cinema. So these are artists who have either worked with or will work with Proto Cinema in the near future. But these are long-term collaborations, so the idea is to showcase their work across many countries and cities. Yeah, I think what defines Proto Cinema's curatorial vision is an increased interest in built environment and how our societies are changing in the contemporary moment. So the artists we work with are generally involved very much in the present moment, but looking into built environment and surfaces and objects that surround us to dig into past, to create alternative histories, to dig up repressed histories sometimes, to complexify the way we see the present. Well, independent spaces or artist-run spaces are like the vital lifeline of any art scene, I think. When you meet a new context, when you go into a new context, those are the institutions and people who will be most actively involved with the more underground and grassroots context of a place. And those are also the spaces that need the most support in terms of financing, but also in terms of long-term curatorial support. So those are mainly privileged interlocutors, I would say, in terms of the ground research that is done. Well, I do think that the, let's say, DIY artist-run spaces are, I said that they were like a vital lifeline of any art scene in the world. And the reason for that is mainly the first thing I would say is independence. Also those are the spaces and those are the organizations, the self-organized people, artists, who are able to carve out a politically more active space maybe, a space that is independent from the market. That's the most important side of it, I think. In any context where you have a strong market, a strong art market, it comes with certain constraints, let's say, in terms of what is being produced, what is being showcased, what accesses visibility. And artist-run spaces and self-organized spaces are important in the sense of carving out alternatives and showing something different maybe than what you would first see when you arrive into a city. Artist-run spaces and self-organized spaces generally tend to be more fluid, more adaptable, more flexible, and they can move more easily within any given structural opportunity, which is not the case for institutions. But what I do see is more and more galleries are becoming independent from the spaces, for example. There are more and more spaceless galleries or gallery structures. So I think this kind of flexibility and adaptability is more and more required also from, let's say, mid-sized institutions. So there's an adoption of strategies that come from the ground, that from the grassroots aspects of independent artist-run spaces that are adopted more and more by the institutions. It's how alternative is always recycled into the mainstream that participates in that.